When Zipporah Schultz and Jim Harris flew down to Raleigh for the Compassionate Living Festival, that's when they first met Lisa Levinson. Lisa had an idea for a group that would promote animal rights through the arts, and that's how Public Eye Artists for Animals began. Our first production, which was part of the Fringe Festival, was Le Cochon, la Vache et la Poule, The Pig, the Cow, and the Chicken. It was a multimedia dance theater performance portraying scenes of factory farm life, interpreted with compassion and wit by Contemporary Dance Theater and Jody Netzer. Our next show was a multimedia art exhibit portraying interactions between humans and other animals. It ran for 3 weeks at the Allens Lane Art Center, and we did our first call for artists to receive work for this exhibit. Around the same time, we had our first annual Blessing of the Animals, an arts-based blessing event with drum circles, face painting, music, puppets, vegan food, and of course plenty of dogs. Next was Juxtaposition, a cruelty-free fashion show put on at Philadelphia's Ethical Society. It featured fashions designed by students from the University of the Arts and other local designers using only man-made materials. In April, Jim and Zipporah took a day off to get married. And then it was right back to work with The Human Circus. This was our most ambitious project to date. It featured dozens of performers. It chronicled the mistreatment of animals in circuses through the ages. It had a number of non-animal acts. And it even featured a visit from aliens who were chased off by a kung fu fighting bear who had escaped from the circus. Next was our cruelty-free makeover and wild hair contest, featuring a number of wild hairdos created by local hairstylists. There were also cruelty-free cosmetics for folks to try out. Our next show was The Mouth of the River. It was hosted by Ka-Wa-Nee, the spirit of the water. It featured a trio of Schuylkill River-dwelling denizens, including Soctopus and the ever-greedy Captain Bill, whose overfishing was endangering all the creatures of the ocean. Next up was The Veggie Cabaret, singing Dancing Spam, Dancing Tomato, Dancing Corn, and the comedic stylings of Dan Peraro, creator of the Bizarro comic strip. Our first kids club outing was a trip to Chenoa Manor, a 25-acre animal sanctuary in Chester County. Kids got to see the animals close up, and even created some edible treats for them. The Unhuggables was a series of educational programs presented throughout Philadelphia schools and libraries. It featured veteran storytellers spinning yarns about human and animal interactions, and a trio of singing rodents known as the Rat Pack. Wings to Fly was a storytelling event held at the Philadelphia Main Library. It was based on the children's book Here, There, and Everywhere. Kids made costumes, they danced and learned how to move like birds, they sang along to songs about birds, and just generally had a good time. Public Eye has recently formed a vegan spirituality group, a recurring meeting where kindred spirits can discuss the joys and challenges of a vegan lifestyle. On July 4th, Public Eye had its first annual vegan picnic with games, music, and lots of good food. Veggie Cabaret 2 had singing, dancing, dueling cartoonists, comedy skits, and once again, the humor of Dan Peraro. Public Eye continues to have kids club get-togethers, like this visit to the Pennsylvania SPCA. We also had a vegan cooking class for kids. We took a trip to the John Hines Wildlife Refuge in Tinicum. And we had a veg in the style of the 1960s be-ins. We also continue to attend conferences, do tabling, attend parties, some fancy, some wild, and we even took a trip just for fun to the Animal Sanctuary in Watkins Glen, where we met some very nice animals. Back here at home, we continue to hold planning and visioning meetings to map out future projects, and anyone who cares to attend is welcome. We at Public Eye would like to thank Mobilization for Animals, the Culture in Animals Foundation, and Tom and Nancy Reagan for making our work possible, and all of our volunteers and supporters, including everyone here today, for your talents, hard work, and encouragement. Working together, we can continue to make this a more compassionate and understanding world for all animals.